Ebusiafo na etie ni de kwan so mema obi bia kwa baba channels me pacha daily update TV obo kwan so say no first baba channels so message say wo hwe videos ni we na say woni dwun be subscribe to YouTube channel no be like no share videos no so comment bi so obo kwan so fa share comment section mai you zoom straight into the news say wo na ye have a discussion then me pacha that was last week yeah. Minister of Finance Ofori Atta call Parliament no the 2024 budget ni ekotu dwa na nsema no in the process say now or this had in etu dwa no or he made mention of in maybe the government has actually done intino the Tamale airport ana in extension obeka the Bonkra terminal ti eno na Sasa me okan na amankofu bebre epia babonti ambeka say no enye ne kre say the government has done bibisa because now utie ye finance minister for Atta or say about 50% complete and I say completed about 50% completed inti ano na Charles McCarthy so epia babonti you know read it was a panel discussion on the Citizen Show hosted by Nana Mejako nti omo discuss we mu nyina na Charles McCarthy ka say no kre say the Bonkra terminal no enya about 50% completed as said by the Minister of Finance or Parliament yeah then Pērjứry na I said we chantro and that's why you bone etia your friend say Ghana your constitution no in a sense say yes, say rendering falsehood on the floor of Parliament, and I say in Parliament, you know, a case of Pērjứry. Now I say what some of the local court now omo ye ne sani mo nti omo hold on no as Pērjứry na say omo fa no court na omo nko bisabisa nti obetwa ntro na asotwe bi wa ha what some of them this time around it isn't a joke ultimately who say the way they are all advocating or because the panelists omo na advocate said that should be done enye adequate until the men say mo mre be kwani akoti audio no na ye nso mpacho adwenkyere bi a wo bia ye mfa hye comment section no nyankopon hya no onye okese me pacho ye nko me da se bebre.
To improve connectivity with the sub-region and facilitate tourism, the upgrading of the Tamale airport has been completed. To complement this effort and facilitate trade through Ghana's transit corridor, the construction of Bonkra Integrated Logistic Terminal is being executed and is about 54% complete.
Ekwa Bonkra ya nam hono da bi ekwa kuro.
That means say me fa ho last week contractors omo ni obi omo.
Na contractors be na wo Bonkra. Land is contractor be na wo so.
Ebu no ma tias omo
microphone ya. I didn't need you see on mamu nyesa o. Documented in here. Ere.
Oh. When you McCarthy the way 2024
nkunim speech.
That is it. Until far now call page 37. Heading near transport. Paragraph near 171. Our budget na kokai. Statement now minister Ken Kuntunkunko Ofori Atta. A presenting and nano. And no, what's it? Executed and about 54% complete. Etino muti ha mo se dey
enu na otumfo ehia si mo se mensa wo kan say mo na mabonti ana mo kan ya wie wo se ye manipa nkonkonko hwe se bibi kwaso project no force si a omu ni obi a wo sa bibi ankoso wo Bonkra
because me fa Saturday last Saturday Saturday yeah a week exactly if our project no I don't know
wo Bonkra bibi ankoso me dia Bonkra bibi ankoso wo Bonkra ade na kwaso wo Bonkra bibi ankoso wo ka parliament say
simple musuma kumase FM for
reporter
onko Bonkra onko pictures videos emma
enya ma unrem
oh that unrem
okay land no kwada said da ho
asa da media corner fully accredited da wo ma unrem say
na uhia kra say wo be obewura say Bonkra no former president ko started Bonkra land porter na project contractors wo so you don't need to say wo be inside no kwa say bibi koso
we kura pa mo start ye kura pa mo be convince ye no ohun krofo ho mo start ye
no 54% yin na waka no o kotu ade na wo gina so akotu da akwese no
parliament is a house of records. In parliament they did draw. Who didn't draw parliament a Pērjứry. No, I'm very serious about it. So we'll come to that parliament before that this august house seated in a seat here. Kingsford, Alban, Sumanna Bagby. Not say Wakoka will not no cry, but they should take him on.
A dear and Semna can for that and parliament in
and you best do the parliament, you know. Men
are present. He said, Obey finance minister Waka, near Emu best 70% to cry and true. And then I'll be oh, but I said, I wish him 50 hours.
That was I thought I a principal. What only say, project, you know, almost maybe 2024.
Muankra.
And I be an kind. In fact, the last year, Moko almost 2020 movie. I don't say how many percent?
54.
I'm cut it sold in 2020. In fact, that was the project that now do ye say, you can say 1 year project be Ashanti region, no, obey it. In fact, cyborg now, where you crap on the cost of cyborg, so in or 2 better sono. Only a camp, only advert was more than 3 months. Cyborg is a couple of faded air. Omo sample ne kese pan. So when we are saying say one year project be 1 year project and I'm this appraisal omo cut this out from 2020 to date. And also my 54%. Uno king kan here.
Can Ofori Atta say enya makati say or because we read from budget we say. Enti nya no say can Ofori Atta say
because but document there me no mo post to you there na king kan. 48, 49 page. Ha okay. Uka page na fe Matias say Ofori Atta. The omo ye ya omo ko tunjum wo.
Okay. Mitimi kasa.
Oh, what?
Yeah, principal.
All right. Okay. Let's say the amina me kasa. I think that budget you know. No kre kakra wo. Na bia de enye no kre nso kakra wo. And because of the budget emfa picture nka ho ntino. Druba bia etimi e kan de enye no kre. Because obi ka say 56% picture bia nka ho na ya confirm. Ndi mani beje say media no nka waka ni say na yeso ya ko verify ma bia do because na no am ko mi krom kintampo me do buankra me hu anko a ma to be frank with you me ma hu
the good thing about that project is that was obi do slow down that do do because there's a that barrier no na say wa ko sa strips no so be fast no at any given time slow
down nti you slow down ube mu say hwe ni ho anko I say akwa fukra this will because 56 I mean the NT was 56 and I think even this particular project you know a very coordinated well complex project because it started from the port and sana cobran crowd in the railway lines they are developing here now. I want to know because railway lines and develop here railway lines and develop here I didn't see 56% and now more only the facility and infrastructure now it was our land no so no. And I know 56 now. There are a lot of questions than answers.
Infrastructure.
Me okay, ma who? I think there are some billboards be. Oh, Ben, billboards be. When I try quite to be. They cover here.
Ben. Okay, look at 55%.
I can. Okay, that the end number. Nti my dwelling much on it because I think this particular government over or more near more na oma besumbi.
No, okay, say ye mark time on it. I said, would ni pay the agura to the stand say, Ada sebi kumasi one man him for no go on mono one for buo money pa. Adia no 1 year watch ra work rata bakwagina parliament ka say why 54%. Me wa bibia nkoso oni aka say yes spend the time because omo de don be ya no maye no. Nti time bia no omo take nipa for granted.
The good thing am pese nyina enya Ghana ni bi o team ni say anyajo time naso and this is the best time for us to take critical decisions in the development of this country. Or no say no the finance minister then the government akudu ni say omuntumi nye hwe biom say ontumi muma ni biom a wo Ghana ni na wutie no you have to be critical in terms of applying quality conscience in the upcoming election. And ni kwa so kase bia o emi krom ni ana me free ha ana me free because bibia ni wa kire say they want to develop this country. Be ho. bibia ni ho pese omo kire se ya obe penia ma ya start process na makati kuta document you ha document English language ena ya tro ena a lot of generic language brofo say ya tro brofo nka budget die enye brofo budget figures stars o de ba affiliate die anim no sika we na menya mepe na menya sai sika we so a we ni na me de beye. But if you read this particular budget menya ba brofo nkwa brofo like okay maybe he says a speech and to be a speech you know so we any figures of speech and there any speech so it's a speech and because it's a speech you know it's full of grammar. There's no any important message be a woman who say this particular expenditure is likely to change the lives of Ghanaians in 2024
because our budget here peke no
but original budget papa even in this speech was say data womb say na me scan me ni say ba man we ko kasa no o kasa brofo tenten ko a but me kan na no kre bebre o ne kasa no bia na wo na wan twen adwan ko so makati mam document na me kan no kre ba ko kan man ne say o say yenko global outlook makati hono page no global outlook yenko ne ma bia man ne kan da bia wotie yenuanom government communicators omoko radio so a ena babia yedin America yedin ena Europe yedin babia yedin ntina Ghana so high so yedin anamboa finance minister say nya no kre or ka ono ne no kre which is the actual truth based on data e wo say nyina e fa nti so bi tie mi a okop item 48 makati kra cycle no why ade okop item 48 according to the International Monetary Fund IMF October 2023 World Economic Outlook, global economic growth is anticipated to decelerate from 3.5% in 2022 to 3.0% in 2023. The opposite can say we are seeing nkanko and I say development and growth is different from growth is different from development. But mami nyuso in that context. We are seeing say mpuntuo no ha mami kan we are seeing mpuntuo no after 2023 ebenyini 3%. Neno kwa wakano no. Mini aba fa compare the growth of Ghana in 2023 is 1.5%. So whilst the world is growing 3%, no, Ghana grew 1.5. What can no cre? So all marking no honoma wati because or you below twice.
Okay.
The below or twice the below of world growth. We are seeing in punto no averagely. Can ofureta kan mo a o matwe growth no kora ba 3% because he's below the average. That is what he said. This obet no say we are seeing United and now we are saying it's not true because other countries are growing more than even the 3% because the 3% is average. Kena kana no kre. Now yenko item if anything same area wa no and oba the next inflation macroeconomic oba inflation or say we are seeing inflation. We are seeing keno or see we are seeing inflation. We are seeing inflation no mamenko item 51 Mr. Speaker or the Mamizu Sub-Saharan Africa and Sanamako World Outlook or see Mr. Speaker in Sub-Saharan Africa inflation is decreasing albeit still available data over 40% of countries have consistently witnessed a decline in inflation for at least 2 months. On average, countries with flexible exchange rate regimes have experienced stronger inflation pressures compared to countries operating fixed exchange rate regimes. As of July 2023, nearly 1/3 of the region's economy still had inflation rates in double digits. Inflation in Sub-Saharan Africa is anticipated to rise from 14.5% in 2022 to 15.8% in 2023 before it drops to 13.1% in 2024. Until this year 2023, your inflation we are seeing in Sub-Saharan Africa. Sub-Saharan Africa ni abi before now Muka Africa hono. Utwa Sahara ni free wa momba omunyi no inflation no averagely no 15.1 2023. Okay. Ghana dey saying as at October is 35%.
I feel.
Wakana no kre. Wa failing this obi e betra radio so. No ka say obi a babia yedin based on data kra na finance minister na the president of parliament no. Wa failing.
Enye babia na yedin.
Dabi. And we are 15% because of Ghana yedi na ekosro no 35 no. You see when you are running average bi wo soro na bi wo fom a de wo soro no epulu de wo fom no eba together ma mbe converge at a midpoint intina kind of rate crack ho intina world inflation no sub-Saharan inflation no 15% no say nyo no a nka bia inflation no in sub-Saharan is around 3%. But he has spoken the truth. What kind of cry no budget mu say manya de mabon nti se wan kan no cry no so be ba ha na obeka say o ye bankrupt 56% 54% kan hu say ne no kredie na woka ba no kredie na e wo say wo na wo fa data no e interpret e hu say no cry na kan e no cry trudo ana say nya no cry trudo so yenko grants on verify but wo hwe budget na he has spoken is true that he has underperformed in 2023. He has spoken is true that his government has underperformed in 2022. What can no cry say in 2024 the government be underperform because his projections based on the projections or the amount of see next year we are growing 2.1 was another saying 2.8. I think 2.1 or so. Let me look at it here. Also you are growing 2.1 or so. So 2.1 also grow in 2020 a year. 4. Next year 2024 the world economy is growing more than 3%. So if you are growing 2.1, even next year no crowd be underperform. You underperforming. Now no many me senior can cinema di can say. Me say where na brofo no hu. So we mu growth. They grow sometimes they grow 1%. Sometimes they grow 0.8%. A big grow 0.4%. But when they compare omu population growth they are growing lesser in terms of population. No ko Japan omu prama for kra mama wo. Omu nyabi. So now they are manufacturing robots to take care of adwuma nipa was oye. In this also oman mu a na so GDP no is growing lesser than your population growth. You are just pushing your people into poverty. In this na wo hia na onam na wo hu say amanfo nam circle omunya adwuma nye amanfo nam Madina esonema te say sebi aboa funu ponko amanfo nam tudu esonema te say aboa funu because adwuma ni ho a na say adwuma ni ho because o GDP na egro no is less than o population growth. Usika na o de ka ho no me fan say ne o 1 city next year also the 2 cities ne be ka ho na mom ne o nipa 10 next year o de nipa 5 ne be ka ho o be so 2 cities na o de kan amana 12 no o de nipa 5 no ka 10 wa 15 o mu cheska na ska no enso bia nti o man bia no e wo se o GDP na abri bia no e grow see your population. But can for at a time with the population grow as in your GDP, and that is why poverty is real everywhere. In number bia unibabia, he said it. Indianos were failing. Minia, oko babia memiraho say omanya etimi. You see a binum ya here for bia makati the figures nebeba.
Lip.
You see a binum ya here for. And your lip nutrition.
Okay.
Sometimes when we are measuring poverty, measure poverty in terms of multidimensional. All the factors are contributed to poverty. Health insurance ka ho. Say omanfo no we have what you call human capital. Omanfo no benya apomudin papa. Because omunya apomudin papa ene mo mutimi ya adwuma yi e de boaman. Anaso omanfo no benya school papa akọ quality education, not access to education, not enrollment so be increasing, but ombenya school papa akọ because school papa no nya kwa e bie na dwimu e manitimi problem or oriented or problem solving leader. Nti onya apomudin papa na onya school papa ye timi measure no kra say wo kra no o here you know and also onka wako stro like you are not more poor, at least you are not poor. We any free wa ye human side ni free wa nutrition aduani awudi kran yetimi de measure poverty ye enu free wa ye hwe usika ukuta yetimi de measure poverty ye hwe even kania udem electricity and even de awudi no aduane se bia we use LPG and also we use eja and as a bidie na di no aduane a we use all these things to measure poverty. Na ko budget mu yet Akroma Ghana Statistical Service publish what we call the Ghana Living Standard Survey. I think the recent one is GLSS 7. Waka say Ghana have almost 23% of Ghanaians here mo ye poor, and even destitute no 2%. The 2% of if anything Makati calculate 2% of 31 million. Omo na destitute no che say ono no oye absolutely poor. Oye ni hwe nye hia bubro na se yebeko yanima sa microphone no mu ye hia bubro no destitute pa no oman bia no e wo so onya bibi kakra e de so mase kenoforiata say Some microphone omu a day omunya bibini no me mu 2 Ghana cedis. The Biaken mu 2 Ghana cedis. Minia 2 Ghana cedis dey na etimi nipa Akroma. Abra Ken bag or the bar parliament. Ye ko he bag no online no is 4,000 euros. Me bra makati ni sinema omo na di euros me hu bi krada. Saying 4,000 euros and ne saying. Oh, makati bo ame sebu na mo di bi euro ne
14.
So do the calculation for me. 4 times 14 times 4,000. Me who euro no be krada. You want me freaking tampo. Me niaba. I can offer a bag out the bar parliament. I 4,000 euros. So who president appoint to say boy a year for people who are impoverished. Support them with income. A day be anwa located 2 Ghana cedis. Na the man say 2 Ghana cedis no on fani the meaning about 2 Ghana cedis any paday.
Na ben 2 Ghana cedis ni kure ko.
On dabi o de ntina me say o kan ne kure no on na dia to parliament mu say eko o de
lip no kura na 2 cedis ni kura eko.
Da o say o de ko o de o say ne bag ne 66,000 56,000. Keno for yata bagu 56,000. Now finance minister what di me pese meka say abro ne baye but o ko chiska what chiska 2 Ghana cedis e de ama Ghana ni ane wo kire no o de 2 Ghana cedis ye den o wie ya o san ko kan say oh Mr. Speaker ye pese ye ma etumi ko school especially ye ma omo ye ahiafo ma because research actually say the entia ahiafo mba ne bi ntumi ko school no e because so omo nya aduane pani ndi o my Ghana no because of say ye ma ne bi ntumi ko school because of aduane nti no e wo say ye ma omo aduane eni aba keno forata ko kan budget mu a o say da bia ye ma na ye ntumi ma omo aduane ni no ono allocate 72 pesos and so mvango didi ni aba aduane papa ben akura ni bedi aduane papa ben na akura ni bedi 72 pesos o a day 72 aduane papa ben nyame nwanwa say there are a lot of reports I publish HS nkura no bebre no omaduane no mo yare cholera and things report malnutrition because
na ya to aduane kura to 1 cedi
na 1 cedi kura aduane 1 cedi o pure water price 50
pure water kura 50
yes but he was bold enough to mention that in our budget that he gives our children 72 pesos a day. So in terms of nutrition, poverty, ye ko worse because nkrana omu free fie mu a skani mu no omadu na omunya bini. Uye ni free wa maka poverty aba income and kai say fan support household na ye ma mu 2 Ghana cedis a day. Any food I am feeding crime 72 pesos no. Osan kan no creba in terms of health insurance. Also Mr. Speaker, o hwe ye ma mu hanum na ye national health insurance ye project say ye pese nipa 20 million ene wo ye health insurance system no nemum 20 million ni yanya 60 million and 60 million no according to ono target no wa achieve 80%. I think is the you read it. But me niaba health one for all population, not a part of a population. Ntumi nyi fa because health no so person calculate measure poverty based on health the whole population now there nti say oh nipa 31 million Ghanaians not only 16 million and no health insurance it means that you have a lot of Ghanaians who are poor and that is why when GSS reported on multidimensional poverty almost say adiba kunti a Ghana for do na here for is because of health because do na need health insurance. Inti ne health insurance ayeka health insurance amount for bostu nyina no only a little of over 52% in our health insurance. 48% of Ghanaians don't have health insurance. I didn't know money health insurance. They are not on health insurance because they don't even believe the system. System ye nyini ya beye na poto ya se no inti ne obi kura ka se onkwa or professor be call cash and carry. Than so be call health insurance. And Keno Forata said it. Inti uye no free wa ye nyina tia no akrameti said dum so no kra ba kakra areas bi because odi IPPs ka any IPPs nko all the power sector service providers are buying the omunyina aka last year ko 27 billion I think 25 to 27 billion Ghana cedis and also odi kwa kutua enyinam kania foi power sector service provider kutua moka and energy sector service providers last year wantima ntua only 5 billion 5 billion now this year cranya say last year this year no allocate about 27 billion no this year time no already ne supplementary budget also only 5 billion at the moment. And the IPPs no say omuntia say fa yesi kamaye na me nsusu ye ne say fa yesi kamaye no o ye kohwe budget ni mu a ke no Ofori Atta betumi aka say musika no me konya free ha menya free ha say na me de mama na ama that assurance sa didie no say aban betumi atua na aban pese otua no nkrofo yanya mini aba ken ko kan ya o say afi no ne o mokotena ase asi okay,
so government here say we raise 27 billion